From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world? It's the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Capper, and it is time for the premier sports betting show. Got to get my hat on right up over here looking silly. So pretty much let's go ahead and get it going for the day. And man, the Knicks are back in the playoffs for the first time in a decade. It is a good day in the Midtown Manhattan area over where Madison Square Garden's at. You already know they're buzzing for tickets right now. The Knicks will have home court advantage as well, too. So pretty much here we are, and things are looking really, really good when it comes down to the Knicks and things of that nature. So pretty much we got a team that was put together as a team that should be a team that will probably not be that good this season, but they've had great efforts from Quigley, a guy that nobody saw coming. Derrick Rose was traded there mid-season from Detroit. That was also helpful as well, too. Then you have Barrett, who's playing into his potential right now as well, too. But then you have the key piece to everything. Ridiculous, man. I'm telling you right now. Julius Randle has become a poster boy for the Metro New York area. This guy is now the man. He gets to walk into the same lines as Patrick Ewing, Carmelo Anthony, Allen Houston, many, many stars from the New York Knicks over the last 30 years, 40, 50 years or so. But he gives the city hope. And as you can see, a lot of celebrities, a lot of big New Yorkers and things of that nature are so excited about this Knicks team. And as you can see on the bottom, the possibilities for this team moving forward next season as well, too. Russell Westbrook could be a member of this team because they're a very attractive team at this moment. You can also get DeMar DeRozan here, who's been kind of hidden in San Antonio for the last few years as well, too. And then, you just got a talented roster. I didn't even mention Kevin Knox, who probably is not as good as he was his rookie year, but he's still a very consistent player as well, too. And then you have Reggie Bullock, who's a very sharp shooter as well. And then you also have some very, very good veterans as well, too. Taj Gibson, the former USC Trojan, is an absolute gem as well, too. So pretty much that's what we have here. We have ourselves a very good situation here with the Knicks. The Knicks could be the team that winds up getting a big, big upset as well, too, here in the second round as well when it comes down to the actual playoff series with the Nets. So hopefully they can get to the Nets here in the second round and things work out the right way for this team. So, we move forward. Let's go ahead and jump into our next topic at hand, and it's going to be more about New York City. And KD actually had called the Nets the Big 15. He said that it's not about a big three here. It's about the Big 15. Pretty much that means a lot to the other guys that are just on the team and things of that nature. And pretty much this is it. This is a team that is ready to play in the second season. And it doesn't matter if James Harden wasn't there all year. It doesn't matter if KD wasn't there all year. It doesn't matter if Kyrie wasn't there all year. It doesn't matter if Blake Griffin was there all year. Now they're in the playoffs. They're going to be there every game. There's only and total 28 games to be played, 16 wins that you need to go ahead and win the NBA championship. This team is going to probably get it. They're probably going to have their little issues here in the first round, just a little bit, because they are going to be going against a hungry team that's coming out of a play-in situation as well. And then they'll have to really, really dig and claw when they get to the Knicks, because the Knicks have been a tough out for them all season. Even though they've been able to win these games against the Knicks, they have been a tough out all year for this Nets team. And I really do like the chances of the Nets as well too. You have 4 teams in the Eastern Conference that are the absolute favorites right now in the NBA. You know what I mean? You got the Nets, who are the 1 seed. Then you have not the Nets, but the Sixers, who are the 1 seed. Then you have the Nets, who are the 2 seed. 3 seeds, you got the Bucks up there as well too, but the Bucks to me aren't that much of a threat. And then you got the Knicks sitting right there at the 4 seed. But I don't know if the Knicks are a championship worthy team as of yet. But right now, they could be the team that actually spoils the party for the Big 15. All right, so pretty much with that, we're going to go ahead and move on to our next topic at hand, and the Wild Wild West. Why no top 3 seed will represent the conference in the finals this year is a weird year, because the Lakers had the injury bug hit them, and they had them hit them hard. They lose AD, then they lost LeBron. The Lakers then became just a little bit below 500 of a team, or just a bit above, just an even team at that point. But the Lakers had already did enough work early in the year with AD and LeBron to already solidify themselves in a playoff situation. But what happened was the Lakers fell all the way to the 7th seed in the process as well too. Now they have teams that are at the top that usually would have been the teams that are at the bottom. Now, when you look at Denver's chances are slim because Jokic is a great player. But the thing is, though, Jamal Murray is the star of the team, and Jamal Murray's out for the rest of the year. So that's going to be a big loss for them, and it's going to put them in a situation where they're going to have to be really Joker dependent, and he's a center, and he can get into foul trouble early, and if that happens, then they can get into a lot of trouble in these games. Now, they do have a chance to spread their wings a little bit with Michael Porter Jr., who looks to be on the improve, and he has to step it up in place for Jamal Murray as well too. So it's going to be a tough, rough ride for this team. Hopefully everything works out for them in a sense to where they can get past the first round and everything like that, even though they're going to go against a tough Blazers team that has really given them no mercy this year, already beaten by 16 to end the season as well too. So that's going to be a tough series for this team, and Dame knows how to come from the 6th side and actually win these series as well too, because he's done it twice already. So that's a dangerous situation for you when it comes down to this game. But we'll have to see how it shakes out, see how it goes. Then you have the Suns, who just haven't been here before. Yes, Monty Williams is a really good coach. Chris Paul is a hell of a point guard. Devin Booker is one of the most lethal scorers in the NBA. DeAndre Ayton is becoming one of the best big men in the league. But right now, though, they're not prepared mentally to be a playoff team that goes far. They have to come into the playoffs, learn their lesson, figure out how they can get better moving forward down the road. But at this point right now, they're going to really have to look at this situation as a learning situation, especially if they have to line it up with the Lakers in the first round, who are going to be a significant favorite. And this is going to be the first time you'll ever see a 7 seed favored in a playoff series against a 2nd seed. But I don't know. Vegas might go ahead and say, you know what? The Lakers might be about done this year. And I remember years ago, a long time ago, Lakers were vying for their 3rd championship, and they ran into a Phoenix Suns team nobody expected to even have a chance against them. They wound up wiping the floor with the Lakers, beating them 4-1 in that series, and pretty much ending that whole little, ending the Lakers' 80s era in a sense, and not, on a sour note. So pretty much that was set up the Blazers to play the Pistons in the finals that year instead of the Lakers getting their 3rd matchup with the Pistons at the time. So, you can't ever just write off a team. But I think the Lakers, with the motivation that they have being in the 7th seed, had to play in a playing game as well too, they're going to step it up. They're going to do it big. But you know what? The Suns, they'll try. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say they're not going to try. But LeBron pretty much has this one handled, in my opinion. And then this is the scoop. The Jazz. The Jazz, I feel like, been front running all season. And the perfect team, the perfect storm for upset is a Bruin. You got Steph Curry, possible MVP, who should be facing off with the Jazz as the 8th seed if everything goes the way that it's lined up. And I'm telling you right now, the Warriors have a huge shot to beat them. Why? Stephen Curry, 3 rings. Draymond Green, 3 rings. That's all they need. Those guys know how to get these guys motivated, get them in the right position. They've made Andrew Wiggins more of a confident player, something that he wasn't in Minnesota. They've also been able to get hustle guys like Kelly Oubre to buy into the system as well too. They've had a great season this year. All in all, for a team that had little to no expectations as well too, after losing Clay, and after they did lose a guy that I liked a lot as well too, and James Wiseman to a knee injury. So the Warriors have survived, and when you survive the way that they survived, you're a scary damn team. I'm gonna tell you that right now. All right, so pretty much with that, that's going to be a wrap on my little NBA playoff preview at things that I see happening in the biz and things of that nature. So you guys go ahead and check out hatclub.com. You guys can go ahead and get yourself 10% off on any $50 order or better. Once again, www.hatclub.com. Get yourself dripped up, get yourself looking good, because you know what? It's time to get back outside. COVID is almost, well, it's not done, but you know, the restrictions are almost lifted everywhere. So why don't you prepare yourself right? Get yourself in that show description. Get yourself in that link. Go ahead and get that 10% off on any $50 order or better. So with that, we will be right back. This is the Premier Sports Betting Show, the Primetime Angles Live with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners and I'll Have Another and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
Tune into Big Wave Boxing every week with a brand new guest, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper, getting the best boxing stories, best boxing angles, and the truth when it all comes down to the sweet science. Tune into Big Wave Boxing on the Prime Wave Media channel on YouTube.
All right, we are back with the Premier Sports Betting Show, the Primetime Angles Live with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper. And boy, oh boy, let's go ahead and get into the boxing world. And Wilder wins his arbitration to force a third fight with Fury. And this is true. This isn't some hogwash internet rumor. This is actual world news right now. When this will put the Fury AJ fight in doubt at this point. And it's the right thing, as I said before. It doesn't matter, Tyson Fury. You owe Deontay Wilder a third fight. Deontay Wilder did not need to fight you a second time around. You weren't the mandatory opponent. He could have moved on. Fought Anthony Joshua, which was already coming within the plans. And, you know, pretty much it is what it is. But he gave you a second chance because the dollars made sense. Everything made sense. He gave you a whole year as well, too, to get back in shape, get right. And you know what? All what happened was it was like going to prom and everything went wrong before he got there for Deontay Wilder. He was doing things that he had never done before that fight, running around, doing a lot of different promotions, things of that nature. It seemed like he was the only one promoting the fight in a sense as well, too. And it winds up that, you know, all that time spent running around and doing all the stuff to sell the fight actually wound up being a hindrance to him. Now he's fully focused in on just being the boxer that he is. And I think this is a dangerous man. This man has been given motivation. This man has overcame so much in life. And I think that overcoming Tyson Fury isn't going to be that big of a deal. I know I sound crazy right now. I know a lot of the people who love Tyson Fury do not want to hear what I'm saying right now, but it's the right thing to do. Okay. The guy had you knocked out in the first one. Jack Reese saved you. I was there. I was there in the flesh. My graphics guy was there in the flesh. We saw what happened that night. The man was dead in the 12th round, okay? And Jack Reese was kind enough not to wave it off, but give him the opportunity to get back up. And he did get back up. He looked good doing it, but Deontay still had 2 knockdowns to his tally in that fight. And, pretty much the fight looked, all in all, it could have been a messed up decision to where they handed the fight to Deontay. But no, they gave it a chance and said, you know what, Tyson Fury fought well enough to make this a draw. It's that simple. But now it's time to pay the piper. This rubber match will make it solidify who the better fighter actually is. And a lot of us will be entertained by this as well, too. They don't want this fight because this fight is scary. Deontay Wilder still has the most dangerous right hand in the world. And do you want parts of that for the third time? And now he's figured out some things that you might want to do, and the way that he's ducking and sticking and moving the way that he is right now and reforming his whole fight game. I'm telling you right now, this night is going to be huge, all right? That's all I can say. It's going to be a big, big night of boxing. But the fight does need to happen by September, or, Tyson Fury loses that WBC belt. You know what I mean? And I know he doesn't want to do that. All right, so Wilder, Fury 3 looks like it's going to happen. AJ and Fury will happen one day eventually, but right now, Deontay Wilder stands in their way. All right, so let's move on to the next one. We have ourselves a very good fight coming up in Vegas next weekend. It's finally here, Ramirez-Taylor, and a 140 unification bout to crown the undisputed champ of the division. These guys literally have all the belts. You got the WBC, WBO champion in Ramirez, and then you have the WBA, IBF, and the Ring Magazine title with Josh Taylor. So this right here is the ultimate fight between guys and really this is a fight that literally the guy that wins this fight winds up always moving on to the next level. And that means another division, but Josh Taylor is coming in as the slight favorite, just a little bit, but nobody can deny the heart of Jose Ramirez. Jose Ramirez is a great boxer. He has a great story. He's from the city of Fresno in California, and he has a lot of people that are very, very in his corner. And I think this will wind up being a great fight because Ramirez is a guy that keeps his nose clean. He doesn't do much outside of the boxing ring, but be a positive citizen. But then you got a guy like Josh Taylor who loves life. He lives, he parties, he does what he wants, had some issues and everything like that. Outside of the ring, having a little bit too much fun outside of the ring, but it happens when you're young. I always call it young energy. So you can't just really, fault the guy for that. You live and you learn and things of that nature, but it might not be the best look if you're trying to be a positive role model, for, kids going into boxing and things of that nature. But I digress. My thing is this fight is should deliver every ounce of hype that it's supposed to. So right now, I think this could possibly be the fight of the year. It's probably one of the best fights up to this point as well, too, other than last week when you had Neary and Figueroa, which was a great matchmaking fight as well, too. But this fight is right on the money because this is what we call a super fight. Now, if the guys were more well-known, this would have been a pay-per-view, but this is going to wind up being a great, great night on ESPN. So we're going to see how this one goes. We're going to see how it shakes out, but this is the fight of the weekend, and everybody needs to have their eyes glued on this because the next guy, the guy who wins this fight is about to become a household name, box office star, and we move on. And if it's a great, great fight, then we'll all demand a sequel. So we'll see how it goes, see how it shakes out. We move on from there. All right, so pretty much our next topic is how serious should fans take Mayweather, Logan Paul? You know what? at the end of the day, it's an exhibition. It's Rocky versus Thunderlips, okay? You guys stop putting so much emphasis on it, all right? You're going to get a good fight between Badu Jack and Jean Pascal, two veterans that duked it out in Atlanta a few years back on the tank card with Gamboa. So when you look at things and you put things into perspective, you tell yourself that it should be just a fun night. You got Chad Ochocinco on the card fighting in an amateur fight as well, too. So, come on, man. Give it a shot. Just have some fun with it. It's nothing that's important. It's not going to change the politics of boxing. It's not going to do any of that. Nobody told you that you didn't need. Nobody told you you have to watch it. But for just the sake of just having some fun, everybody would love to see Money Mayweather go out there and have a good little exhibition with Logan Paul, teach him some lessons on how to actually box, and pretty much still another big payday. You know what I mean? And when you're hot, you're hot. But this one right here might be something that might backfire on Floyd as well, too. So we have to prepare ourselves for that situation as well, too. And if that happens, the haters will rejoice over that as well. But all in all, though, everybody loves to be entertained, and this is entertainment. So Mayweather, Logan Paul, ain't nothing wrong with it. Go ahead and get that money, guys. It is what it is. All right, so let's talk about our final topic at hand. And as we all saw Saturday night, Stephen Coolboy Fulton walked into the ring, and now we have a clash that's been set for 9/11 for the Super Bantanweight unification. You have Brandon Figueroa, who's going to be defending his newly minted WBC crown and his WBA crown against Coolboy Fulton, who's the WBO champion. So they're going to try to unify those belts and get it going, get it popping, and all that good stuff. And then the winner will probably move on and try to get to the IBF champion as well, too, because this 122 division is exciting. There's a lot of good fighters here. There's a lot of great things to do here at this division. So a lot of people just have to understand that the future is now when it comes to boxing. These guys are going to be around for some years. And this is going to wind up being a really, really good fight. It's going to be much better than it looks on paper. And Brandon Figueroa has proven that he's ready to be the upset man as well, too. He got himself a great victory against Neri, who was seen as one of the most feared punchers in the smaller divisions. But that did not faze Brandon Figueroa at all, who took his best shot and just kept moving. So Brandon Figueroa is an absolute stud. He's about to be a big, big star in this business as well, too. Not just inside the ring, but outside the ring as well, too, with the modeling, possibly acting as well. So, Brandon Figueroa is in good shape to have a very viable future. But at the end of the day, he's a boxer first. And don't let the pretty boy looks fool you. He's ready to punch your face out. And, Coolboy Fulton better be ready for that, because Brandon Figueroa goes hard every day in the gym. Stephen Fulton, I'm not saying he doesn't, but I'm telling you right now, Brandon Figueroa takes it to another level. And I think that the reason why he's so successful right now, because he outworks all of his opponents before he even gets to the fight. So pretty much this is going to wind up being an epic fight. This should wind up being a fight that's going to get a lot of hype for most of the summer, and I look forward to it as well, too. So there it is. Brandon Figueroa, Stephen Fulton, two clash on 9/11 for the 122 Super Bantamweight unification bout. All right, so with that, you guys go ahead and check out Fubo TV. Fubo TV, you get 7 days free on me, and you guys will be able to get yourself situated with Fubo TV. If you like it a lot, please sign up, and you guys will receive, hundreds of channels, all sports, all types of sports. You get kayaking, water polo, all types of sports. And this is all going to be for the price of $55. So you guys check it on out. And that's after the free trial. Okay. So you guys check it out. It's going to be awesome. Okay. Fubo TV, start your free trial today on me. And we will be right back with the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles Live, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper.
The Viget app, where social media meets sports betting. Get the latest line movements in all major sports. Track your daily bets, daily contests, the NFL over-under contest that pays out $10K in cash prizes. This is a cutting-edge app that helps betting be easy. Sign up with the reference code POPDBIC and you will be able to watch my daily show, The Primetime Angles, as a resource to building that bankroll. Viget is available in your Apple or Google Store on your iOS or Android. The social sports betting app, Viget.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
All right, we're back with the premier sports betting show, The Primetime Angles, live with the one and only Pop DBIC, The Primetime Capper. And let's go ahead and jump into it. Blue Crew Daily. Dodgers go ahead and get themselves a nice win last night, beating the Diamondbacks 3-1. And Walker Buehler had a gem of a game last night as well, too. So the Dodgers, improving by the game. Won their last 5 out of 6 after struggling mightily as well, too. So the Dodgers looking much better than they have over the last few weeks or so. So when you look at this situation, the Dodgers last night, they stepped it up. They didn't score a lot of runs, but they had great pitching last night. When you have great pitching, you don't have to score a lot of runs. But they ran into an old friend, Madison Bumgarner. But you know what? They got a good effort from Will Smith last night, who wound up hitting a home run. And also, Albert Pujols chipped in with a RBI scoring Mookie Betts. So hopefully we'll be seeing that a whole lot more this season as well, too, with Albert joining the Dodgers. And it looked really good yesterday as well, too. Albert walking around with the number 55 on as well, too. That's the Earl Hershiser jersey as well, too. I'm kind of mad at the Dodgers. I'm like, hey, shouldn't that jersey already be on the wall? But I don't know if the Dodgers still have the Wall of Fame in the back anymore. I doubt it. But they do retire numbers and things of that nature. But I'm surprised 55 is still active. You know what I mean? One of the greatest Dodger pitchers of all time wore it. But you know what? It's all good. If Albert's wearing it, it's cool. You know what I mean? Albert can do whatever he wants. So pretty much it's good to see the Dodgers win that game last night. 3-1 to start the Puljols era. I think that his veteran presence is going to be the difference with the Dodgers. It's not about him scoring a whole lot of getting the Dodgers a whole lot of runs and hitting a whole lot of home runs and all this extra stuff. It's about the wisdom that he brings to the young players. It's about the talks that he has with the pitchers as well, too, when they might be struggling or when they're having a great game and the manager pulls them out all of a sudden. You're going to have Albert there to talk to, who's going to always have your back. And that's the value of having great teammates, and this is what leads to winning championships as well, too. The Cardinals were so good for so long, not just because Tony La Russa was their manager. They had guys in that locker room, in that room, that communicated with each other. They're friends. They're not competing against each other. They're trying to get to the end goal at the end of the day, and that's to win the world championship. And the Dodgers made the correct move. This was the move that the Dodgers needed to make. It doesn't matter how old he is. It doesn't matter how much time he's going to get during the season. It's almost like you have hired an extra coach to come on in and help the team out just a tad bit. But the guy can also still hit a 500-foot home run as well, too. So that's a bonus in itself. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Blue Crew Daily, the Dodgers looking good. 5 out of their last 6. And they look to continue that tonight with my man, Julio Urias, I feel who could be the Cy Young Award winner this year. going against Merrill Kelly, who's a middling pitcher at best. You know what I mean? This should be a Dodger game where they get more than 3 runs tonight. Merrill Kelly is not a guy that's going to shut you down like that. But Julio Urias, though, does not need to be in a position where he thinks that he can overpower the Diamondbacks as well, too. The Diamondbacks didn't have a great night last night hitting. Sometimes when you don't have a great night hitting the night before, you'll be ready the next day because you're going to go into batting practice about an hour earlier than you usually do, or stay around for about 15 to 20 extra minutes than you usually do from the night before. Because at one point, I think they had 2 hits by 1 player last night with the Diamondbacks. Gavin Lux tried to keep him in the game a little bit. 2 straight errors, but Gavin was able to get the go-ahead RBI last night to get the Dodgers back up 2. So then Kenley Jansen didn't have to blow the game. Even though Kenley had 2 on last night, and Dodger fans had to hold their chest for a little bit as well, too, and hope that he didn't blow the game against the lowly Arizona Diamondbacks. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. Dodger game starts at 7 p.m. at the Ravine. So you guys make sure to tune in to channel 788 if you have the Spectrum, and you guys will be able to catch that game tonight. All right, let's go ahead and get into the MLB games for today. We have ourselves some pretty good matchups. We have the Rays and the Orioles. I know I'm kind of going off the cuffs a little bit. You know, everybody would say, "Oh, why aren't you talking about the Red Sox and Blue Jays game?" Well, you know, we got to switch it up a little bit. You know, this is a good game that's going on today in Baltimore over at the old Camden Yards. And you got Orioles coming in here with Matt Harvey, the former vet. You know, Matt Harvey was the man of Queens for a while when he was pitching for the Mets. And then they tried to, things kind of went to the left a little bit. He pitched for the Angels for a while. Did all right. Now he's with the Orioles. He's 3-3 on the season, 4.81 ERA as well, too. 29 strikeouts over 11 walks. And then you got Luis Patino, a guy that the Padres are very high on. But, you know, he's still a young pitcher, and he still is going through the motions of things as well, too. Patino has pitched in 5 games this season. He's 1-1 on the year as well. But they're bringing him out the bullpen and now making him a starter. And more of, if anything, he's more of a spot starter. So pretty much he gives them really good innings, and then they bring in other relief pitchers. And this is a dangerous type of situation as well, too. You know, Luis Patino was a big Padres prospect, and he came along in the Blake Snell deal. So with that, this is going to be something that, you know, pretty much a lot of people will probably lean towards the Rays in this spot. But I think that the Orioles still have a really good shot today. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But we got the Rays at the Orioles today. Should be a good one. All right, we move on to our next game. Our next game is going to be a doozy. It's going to be the Pirates at the Cardinals. The Pirates and the Cardinals coming together. You already know this is a good old-school NL Central rivalry. These guys have been going at it for 100-some-odd years, though, as well, too. The Pirates been around for a long time. So pretty much and the Cardinals. So tonight's game, you know, you got John Gant on the mound for the Cardinals, and then you have on the mound for the Pirates tonight, you're going to have probably one of their better pitchers, JT Brubaker, who's a 2.58 ERA, 41 strikeouts over 9 walks this year. John Gant is also pitching very well, but has a losing record. So what that means is that when the guy goes out, he just doesn't get enough run support. So it is what it is at the end of the day. But I think that today, since it's the Pirates, I think the Cardinals step it up big time for their pitcher, who has one of the better ERAs on their team, and gets this guy a good win today. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go ahead and take the I think that the Cardinals can win this game by 2 or more runs, and you're going to get a lot of value in that spot as well, too. As you can see, since they're only a 120 to actually win the game. So, you know, it is what it is. This is, to me, a 50-50 breakdown. One side can take the Pirates, the other side is going to take the Cardinals, but you got to find the value in this, and I feel like the value will be on the spread in the spot. So with that, we will move on to our next game, and our next game is going to be a fun one as well, too. This one is going to be the game that's going to be between the interleague teams, and this is going to be NL Central versus AL Central, and these guys aren't too far from each other, where you got the Milwaukee Brewers going against the Kansas City Royals, who have fallen off. Sorry, Mike. they fell off. Mike had some good bets going for the Royals here early in the season, but they're not doing too good right now. But we'll mess with Mike about that tomorrow when he's on the show as well, too. So pretty much we have Milwaukee, who's minus 175 today. The Royals coming in back to their normal selves at plus 155. But they got Chris Bubik on the mound today. Chris Bubik is coming in here with the 1.42 ERA, and he's 10 and he has 10 strikeouts over 7 walks. And then Brandon Woodruff has 61 strikeouts over 12 walks. So pretty much this is going to wind up being a pitcher's duel because both these guys have ERAs up under 2. And I feel like this game will stay well under as well. So I'm just already telling on myself. That's the bet that I'll be taking today. I think this is a scoreboard watching game. It's tough to pick a winner here. So we're going to see how it goes, see how it shakes out. And we should have a good one from Kauffman Field in Kansas City. All right, so we're moving and we're grooving, and let's go ahead and look at the Nats at the Cubbies. And the Cubbies will be live from Wrigley, and a good night game with the lights on. All right, so the Cubs coming to this game 20-20 on the year. Cubs actually have won their last 3 out of 5, including their last 2 in a row as well, including beating the Nationals last night 7-3. Then you have a Nationals team that's won their last 3 out of 5, but dropped their last 2 out of 3 as well. And so pretty much this team is trying to get back on the right foot. But you see the pitching matchup tonight. You're going to have Patrick Corbin, the former Diamondback, on the mound for the Nats tonight. And then you got Zach Davies, who is seen as one of the better pitchers for the Cubbies this year, but he's struggling. He's 2-2 with a 5.60 ERA. And then you got Patrick Corbin coming in at 2-3 with a 6.19 ERA as well, too. These guys, they're not overwhelming guys this year when it comes to strikeout to walk ratio, especially Davies, who's 22 over 21, 22 strikes over 21 balls, 21 walks this year. That's almost like for every guy you strike out, you walk as well, too. So if this game does supply a lot of walks and things of that nature tonight, expect a lot of runs in this game tonight as well, too. It's tough to pick a side. Both pitchers are very, very shaky, and you have to really determine what your play is on who has the better bullpen. So we'll see how this one goes. This should be another really good game. But Nats at the Cubs, this one is another scoreboard watching game. So let's move forward, and we are getting to the stretch drive situation. We got the AL West rivalry game here. The two teams that played in the playoffs last year, the A's and the Astros, wound up having a damn good series between them as well, too, that the Astros wound up winning. You know, it is what it is at the end of the day. The Astros got the big win out the series. And both teams are coming in here with the same type of spread. Both are at minus 110 tonight. And it's an over-under 8 as well. Then you have Christian Javier on the mound for the Astros coming into this game. Then you have Sean Mania on the mound for the Athletics tonight. Javier looks to be the better pitcher because the win-loss record, but the ERAs are not that far apart. You have Christian Javier, who's 44 strikeouts over 14 walks, very dominant pitcher. Then we have Sean Mania, who has 45 strikeouts over 9 walks this year as well, too. So you can expect some good pitching going on tonight, a lot of strikeouts. But when you have pitchers that are strikeout pitchers, you have to be ready for balls to fly out the park as well, too, because they're giving you pitches that can be hit, but they have movement on them as well, too. And that's the whole thing. These are power pitchers right here. So I feel like what we can do here is just, you know, kind of fill ourselves out a little bit in this game and hope for the best in this spot as well, too. So we'll see how things go. We'll see how it shakes out and everything like that. And A's Astros, it should be a good one tonight from the Bay Area. All right, so let's go ahead and get to our final game. And yes, it's the same game we previewed yesterday, but I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling really froggy today. And you know what I'm going to do today? I like the Rockies so much, I'm going to make them the dog of the day at plus 195. They're creeping up to a plus 200 as we speak. And I expect these guys to go off at least plus 210 by the time we get to the first pitch of the game. And what I will see with that, what it means to me, is going to be an over bet on the Padres today. And in baseball, you never want to see a team get over bet. So with that, we're going to go ahead and take the Rockies today. I'm not even going to be that long with it. I know that they're both division rivals. I know that San Diego is a much better team. I know that the Rockies are sitting in the basement, but you know what? The Rockies got to win at some point this week, right? So why don't we go ahead and make it tonight? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take the Rockies right now, plus 200 in the spot as our dog of the day. And there it is. That is our MLB preview for today. All right, so you guys go ahead and check out Stacy Adams. Stacy Adams, keep you sharp, keep you looking good. You know what I mean? And we got the great links going on and everything like that, but we do have another promo in place with them as well, too, that I will be having up this week. I have to get it situated for you guys, but you get 80% off at Stacy Adams right now as well, too. So you guys look into that. Go to stacyadams.com, get your drip drop going and everything like that. It's about to be a fun summer because they're about to let the whole country out for recess. So guys, be ready. Stacy Adams is your place to go and shop for some very, very sharp clothes. All right, so with that, we will be right back. This is the Premier Sports Betting Show, the Primetime Angles Live with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper.
Now you and your friends can compete in the sport of kings and win big with Stable Duel. Get the app, pick your horses, and get in on the thrill of horse racing with daily games competing against other players. Bring home the glory and the cash, and move up the annual leaderboard while you leave your competition in the dust. Get in the game with Stable Duel. Play, race, win.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners and I'll Have Another and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
All right, we are back. And it is time to go ahead and jump into the NBA as well, too. We have a really good day today. We got the Pelicans. Well, it's not the Pelicans at the Warriors today, but the thing is, though, we do have ourselves the Hornets at the Pacers today. So pretty much that's a there we go. We got the Hornets and the Pacers today. So we got the Pacers coming in here 2-point favorite today. Well, actually, they're a 3-point favorite today, and the spread is in the over-under is a little bit different from that. So pretty much from what I'm seeing here is that we have a 227.5 when it comes to the actual spread and everything like that for today. But the Hornets coming to this game, they've already clinched their spot and things of that nature. So with the 9 seed here. So pretty much these guys are looking to get themselves into this playoff, but it looks like they're going to have to keep playing some more games as well, too, to get into the group. You know what I mean? So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a very fun situation when you look at it because you have yourself a playing situation, something that the NBA has never done really before. And then you have 2 teams here in Indiana and Charlotte vying for AFC, but they have to win twice to get in here. You know, it's crazy because if you're a 7 seed, you can lose once and just win once and you're in. So this tournament is the more and more I think about it, the more and more stupid it sounds, to be dead honest with you. It takes away from the teams that actually did what they had to do to get into the playoffs. Now you're awarding teams that might be 2-3 games back, but they still going to get into the playoffs. They don't even have even records with these teams. So what's the point of doing a play-in situation and sacrificing 2 of your biggest stars in that situation as well, too, instead of just getting the playoffs started on Friday or Saturday? NBA, if you needed extra games, you should have played 82 of them. But at the end of the day, I really like what I see with the Hornets going into this game. Pacers seem like a team that fell apart mid-season that could have been better, but things have not went the way that it was supposed to. So pretty much at the end of the day, this will wind up being a pretty good game, and it's going to come down to the last seconds as well too. But I really do feel like we can't get ourselves a big, big day out of LaMelo Ball, who is going to have all eyes on him as he tries to get his team to the 8th seed and into the playoffs as well too. So there it is, Hornets at the Pacers. Let's see how it shakes out. Now we got the Wizards and the Celtics today. The Wizards and the Celtics, it's going to wind up being a pretty good one as well too. We have the over-under 232.5 going in this game. This one is going to be a war. This is going to be point for point. No Jaylen Brown here. So Boston's a little vulnerable because Boston just has Tatum and Kemba Walker and a lot of really hard-working players. But they haven't been able to put it all together the way that you would think they would put it together, because Boston was one of my top teams coming into the season. But if they don't have Jaylen Brown, the key to everything, then they don't have longevity in this playoff. And the hottest team in basketball right now is not any of the teams up at the top. It's the Washington Wizards, because Russell Westbrook has been reignited from the situation that they put him a part of in Washington, saying, literally just throwing the Brody away, saying that he's done, washed. All he can do is just carry Bradley Beal's bags. They forgot that the guy was averaging a triple-double for the last 5 years, which is impossible when it comes down to things in the NBA. But still, this is a dangerous situation for Boston, dealing with the hottest player in the league, with the team that does not care about where they're supposed to be. They keep getting dealt L's. Their big rookie from Israel broke his ankle. He's out for the year. Bradley Beal, a few games back, got hurt. He's done for the rest of the regular season somewhat. And Westbrook still took it upon himself to keep leading this team to victory after victory after victory until they finally just went ahead and clinched this spot right here. Now Boston's over here kind of shaking in their boots a little bit, because Boston, just like the Lakers, ran into the injury bug. But Boston's in a situation where we don't know what might happen. But one thing works out for Boston tonight. They're at home. And Boston always kills it in the Garden. So there it is. There it is. All right, so let's get to the lovely ladies in the WNBA. And if you guys know me, I can always go ahead and get you guys a good WNBA game. And you know what? It's going to be a good season. It's the 25th season of the league as well, too. And, pretty much there's some really good players in this league. And there's players in this league that are going to be able to grow this league as well, too. We're going away from the days where they're just trying to keep up with the boys. No, they're just trying to give us a good brand of basketball. And that's exactly what they do. They play with the absolute fundamentals. And if you know the game of basketball, you know about the fundamentals. And the fundamentals are fun to watch when they're executed properly. And that's exactly what the ladies do. All right, so the Minnesota Lynx coming in here, one of the more dominant teams in the whole WNBA. But they did miss out on the big enchilada last year. They got put out early in the playoffs. And then they go against the New York Liberty, who are the equivalent of what the New York Knicks are in the WNBA at this point. The Liberty have not been good in a very long time. Last time I thought they were good, Becky Hammond was running point. Rebecca Lobo was at center. That's how long it's been with this team, to be that honest with you. But they have some hope. They have Miss Sabrina, the Kobe Bryant protege, who is very backed by the Mamba Academy and all that good stuff. She's been getting a lot of hype from them for years. She did very well at Oregon as well, too, breaking the all-time scoring record, all that good stuff. And she came into New York with all the hype in the world to be the person to turn around this franchise. She had a good season last year that ended with a high ankle sprain as well, too. So the thing is, she comes back around this year. This team is trying to improve on what they were last year. But the thing about the Liberty is that they'll lose 6 in a row, and then they'll surprise you and get a big win against one of the better teams in the league. That's how you know a team, it can be much better than they look on paper. When they go against the best teams and they actually compete with those teams, it gives you a good idea of what to expect in the future. So don't expect the Liberty to be that bad this season. They're going to get a full season. They're going to be playing at their actual home. They're not going to be in a bubble. They're not going to be uncomfortable. So it should be a really good game tonight. We're still early in the season, so it's pretty much like their preseason in a sense still as well too. But I do like the Lynx a little bit more tonight. I think that they should take care of their business in this spot. All right, so we move on, and let's go ahead and talk about our next game, which is going to be the Mystics and the Mercury. The Mystics coming in here, champions from a few years back, shocked the world in a sense as well too. And they have Del Don, who's a very good player, but the Mercury are coming in here fully loaded. You got Skylar Diggins, you got Brittany as well too, Brittany Griner, and Diana Taurasi is 100 years old, but she's still there. Y'all got to understand, Diana Taurasi was in high school when I was in high school. All right, so she's been here for a while. So pretty much, thing is, former California, all Miss California, and she is the California leading scorer of all time for men and women as well too. So big shout out to Diana Taurasi. So pretty much, she's going to be in it tonight, and this should be a good game between these two teams. I really feel like this should be a scoreboard watch game as well too, but we'll see how it goes. I think the Mystics could be your upset team tonight as well. They're at home. They always play very well, and they play with a lot of heart as well too. So you got to respect it at the end of the day. So there it is. Mercury at the Mystics should be a good one. All right, let's move on to the final game that we have here, and this is going to be the blockbuster game of the night. Oops, blockbuster doesn't exist anymore, but this is going to be the biggest game of the night. It's going to be Las Vegas Aces versus the Seattle Storm. Seattle Storm are the defending champions as well too. The Las Vegas Aces played them in that championship game and got very smoked last year. And you know what? They've come back and they are better, much better this year. They got Kelsey Plum coming back to handle the point guard position and be that vital outside shooter. They also have the beautiful Liz Cambage coming back as well too, the big 6'8" center, who looks like she would be a very good Cleopatra or something of that nature if she was in movies or something of that ilk. So pretty much she's back, and then you got Asia, the number 1 draft pick, seen as the face of the franchise as well too. Asia Wilson, she'll be back as well tonight. But does any of that matter when you got Sue Bird and the squad that they have up there in Seattle that constantly stays relevant in the WNBA as well too, and have some of the best shooters in the league, some of the best defenders in the league. So this is going to wind up being a really big game tonight. So Aces at the Storm. I like the Storm a little bit. I'm edging towards the Storm a little bit tonight, but I do think that this game does go over as well too. So there it is with the WNBA and the NBA preview tonight, and let's go ahead and get into talking tickets. All right, let's go ahead and talk those tickets. Now, we have the Orioles at +1.5 tonight. As I said before, I trust Matt Harvey tonight. I think that they keep this game close, so I'm going to take the +1.5. And then we have the over 8.5 with the Nationals and the Cubs. I think that we can get that by the 5th inning tonight. And then we got the Cardinals with a +150 on the spread tonight. We're going to need some help there, but hopefully we can get ourselves a 2-run win or better tonight. And then we have the under 7.5 with the Brewers and the Royals tonight as well too. That should be a good one. As I said before, we find ourselves in a pitcher's duel, and I think that will occur. Hopefully we can get ourselves a 2-1 score or a 3-2 score there. And then we have the A's at home tonight, -110. I feel like we can get ourselves a good win with these guys tonight, and let's hope for the best. And then we have the Rockies money line, +195 tonight. That's going to be our dog of the day, and it's going to give us a chunky pick 6 today as well too. A 102-1. That right there is a big shot at the racetrack. And you know what we do when we see a 99-1 at the racetrack? Go ahead and put $2 on top of a win bet. So, or a show bet or a place bet. But we trying to win. And if we can get a 102-1 home, just know this. If you go ahead and you put $10 on that bad boy, you actually do come up with 1,020 on this, and that's no cap. All right, so that's a big play right there. So jump into that pick 6 tonight. See if we can go ahead and hit that lottery ticket. All right, let's move on to the NBA WNBA super high five for tonight. We got 36-1 ticket. We got the Hornets with the plus 130 tonight. We're going to take the under 232.5 with the Wizards and the Celtics, and then we're going to have the minus 4.5 on the Lynx, which is blown up since they laid the original lines. And then we got the Mystics money line at plus 130 and the Aces in Storm over 165. And for both of these tickets, single what you like. 36-1 on the super high five, 102-1 on the MLB primetime pick 6. You guys can go ahead and bet these over at UWager using my promo code VSXPOP. On deposits, you guys will receive a 50% match deposit. So if you guys put up $400, they'll match it with a $200 free play, and your sports betting journey begins from there. All right. So I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in today. And this has been another great show. As I always say, bet with your head, not with your heart. Let's keep this movement moving. And with that, this is the Premier Sports Betting Show, the Primetime Angles Live, and I am Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper, and I am gone.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.